Premiere from Adobe is the market-leading desktop video editing package. Version 4, used here, is presently only available for the Macintosh. The PC version of Premiere 4 will be available in November and will have the same functionality as the Macintosh product. This walkthrough takes you step by step through the process of editing a short documentary video. Our video is about PDO, the company used by CD-ROM magazine to press this disc, and explains how compact discs are made. Premiere has 4 key windows. The project window is where you collect the elements you are going to use in your movie, including sounds, stills, movies, and animations. The construction window is where you put them together. It has separate tracks for video, audio, effects, and superimposed titles or graphics that are to be mapped over the video. The preview window is where you can see the edits you have made in the construction window. And the transition window is where you can access a range of effects and transitions. The first step in creating our documentary is capturing the individual video clips required in the production. To do this, you need to select Video Capture in the File menu. This brings up the Record window and adds a new Movie Capture menu to the main menu bar. Here you can access the record settings where you set the resolution of the video capture. The video settings where you select the source of the video and the type of compression. And the sound settings where you set the source, record level, and sample rate for the audio. You can now preview your material in the Record window. You can digitize clips by clicking the Record button. If you select the Report Drop Frames option in the Video Capture Settings menu, Premiere will warn you when frames are dropped during the capture process. To start editing, select New Project in the File menu. Now you need to import your clips using the Import option in the File menu. Here, a folder that contains all the interview material is imported. The folder then appears in the project window, and when it is opened, you get a 1-frame preview of each clip. Use the Select All option in the project window to drag all the clips into the construction window. Each clip then needs to be edited to the correct in and out points. Double-clicking on a clip brings up its preview window. This window has controls for playing, rewinding, and fast-forwarding the clip. Use these to play the clip and identify the in point. Click on the In button to set the current frame as the in point. Then go to the frame you want the clip to end on and click the Out button to set it as the last frame. When editing 2 clips together, you can preview your edit using the yellow preview bar. Position the preview bar over the edit by dragging its ends and press the Enter key. Now we want to create a title screen to introduce our interviewee. In the File menu, select New Title. This brings up a blank title window. Use the text and color controls to create a title. Place the title on the superimposed track of the construction window and extend it to the length of time you want it to appear. Now with the title selected, use the transparency setting from the clip menu to set the white area of the title to transparent so that the type will appear over the video. Next, we want to use a picture-in-picture effect to key the interviewee into a section of the video. The transition we want to use is a zoom. Drag the zoom icon out of the transitions window and onto the effects track in the construction window, then stretch it to the required length. Double-clicking on the effect brings up its control window. For picture-in-picture effects, you need to set the beginning and end points to be the same percentage. When the movie is completed, choose Movie in the Make menu to render and compress the finished video file. Here you have control over the compression, resolution, frame rate, and sound quality of the final movie. Here we are telling Premiere to create the whole project as a QuickTime movie at a resolution of 240 by 180 with 8-bit 22 kHz audio. In the compression settings, we select CinePack at 15 frames per second and high quality. This effectively completes the process. The final rendered movie can either be printed back to videotape or, in our case, integrated into a multimedia application.
Video Discs was established in the late 1980s from a company which has been manufacturing Laserdisc on this site since early 1980. We now manufacture about 30 million compact discs in a year, of which a growing proportion are the CD-ROM, CD Interactive and Video CD formats. Video Discs is a wholly owned subsidiary of Philips Electronics in the UK. The most common input format is the so-called gold disc, the CD recordable disc. When we receive this into the factory, we log it onto the computer system so that we know where the data is in the factory, and then we examine the data to make sure that it is of the correct format and that we can read the disc satisfactorily. If the disc can be read okay, we then proceed to master the disc by feeding it through the mastering system, which is used to modulate a laser beam on our laser beam recorder, which burns the pattern of the data into the photoresist layer on a glass master. After the glass master has been recorded, it's passed into a second clean area where a nickel stamper is grown onto the glass plate. That nickel stamper is peeled off the glass plate and can be used to replicate the discs. The stamper is then fitted into the bottom half of the mould, which forms a cavity with the top half. Into this cavity, liquid plastic is injected, which freezes off in about 5 seconds. A robot arm then takes the disc out of the cavity and passes it to the next stage in the process. At the next stage, the clear disc is put into a sputtering machine, where a mirror is put onto the information side of the disc. The mirror layer is there so that the player can read the disc by reflection. It's made up of millions of tiny aluminium particles and is protected by a layer of lacquer which is spun coated onto the disc at the next stage. We also have an offline printing facility which enables us to print up to 3 colours and also prints much faster than the online replication equipment. The disc can now be packed automatically into a 3-piece jewel box with all the inlays and booklets included. Non-standard packing is carried out manually. From receiving the gold disc to dispatching the finished products back to the customer can take as little as 31 hours.